guess that means I could stay here for free? That's nice. Oh, I should leave the square, go to Bion, need your services. Oh, I guess it's just cheaper. My jacket is already as good as it gets. Good luck. I only have 3 coins, so. Well, if I can say anything, it is nice to be appreciated. Alright, innkeeper. I have news. I have a message from Dias. No, not about Orinthius. The other message from Dias. Glacia's banned. He freezes, observing your hand silently. Dias has sent me to other villages. The bandits are focused on White Marshes, so she's not interested in your deal. Without a word, he puts her payment on the counter, then glances at your nose. I appreciate that you've been so thorough. You've already done more than I've asked. I still have the crossbow to sell, so let's say we'll lower its price. Just for you, keep up the good work. He walks toward the window, opens it, and looks outside. I was afraid it might be like that. Times will get rough, yet there may never be a threat large enough to unite this bunch of anarchists. He rests his hand on the windowsill. I have another job, if you're interested. I'll pay you 10 coins for finding out what Glacia really wants. Ideally, not by a direct question, but if there's no other way, he shrugs. He turns back to you, and for a few words, looks into your eyes. And better act before she marks you as her next prey, being a lonely traveler and all. Work with me, and I'll do my best to keep you safe if you ever decide to hide behind our walls. Okay, well, let's say I find her. Any tips on how I can get on her good side? Assuming she has one? I only have one tip for you. If she sees that you can be broken, she won't hesitate to make that happen. You guys have a history? Like, what's going on here? Can I ask you about Glacia? I've met her more than once. She's older than me, wrinkled, tanned. I don't know how she has survived for so long. I've heard from the coast. I don't really know her story. She's strong, though, and convincing. She wanted to move her band to Pelt and make huts in the courtyard. When I asked her to leave, she didn't make a scene or anything, but a face. It was chilling. He looks at the stove. She may want revenge. Glacia is a cruel soul in a scary shell. That's it? That's silly. Think she's gonna hold a grudge like that? How much you want for the sack of linen? I have all the clothes we need. No, it's fine. I'll go sell it to White Marshes. Show me your wares. I already have a shield. Refilling meals that won't spoil. No, I'll save the coin. Alright. I think that's all. Leftovers? Fantastic. Let's see if we can gamble. Wait, I think I hit the wrong thing. How about some axe throwing? There we go. Now, what should we do? We need to gather coins for spirit rocks, so let's see if we can travel. Aha, got fish. I'll go wash myself. Set the fish trap. Go to Howler's Dell, see if we can make some money. For my services. Now I should be able to afford another rock. So if you go this way, should be able to buy another rock. We can make it 4.5 hours. Ooh, that's cutting it real close. Could visit the Huntress. Hamlet's peaceful, silent like a dead tree. Aegidia. She waves at you from a distance, her voice is bright. Good to see you alive. Is it? Alright, so I think Asteriana sailed to High Island. Do you know anything about it? She opens her mouth but needs a few breaths to speak. They left like that without a word? To that death trap? She raises her bow and points in the northwest. You can see the island from here. It's not easy to get there, ever on a boat. When you mention you'd appreciate any tip that could help you survive there, she moves her lips to left and right, humming to herself. I have not seen it myself, but I heard that when the winters are at the darkest, the water from here to there is all frozen, and ever big bees can get there on their paws. Seeing your puzzled look, she explains. The creatures there are not too different from the ones we have here. The more you learn about them, the more prepared you'll be. Before you change the subject, she lets out a huff. I do hope you'll bring him back. Right. Could use your help on the island. Her curiosity grows as you describe your plan. And you think he may still be alive, truly? After your vague nod, she straightens up, raising her bow in salute. You've helped me already, so 'tis only fair for me to join you. And if you've nae boat yet, you can use mine. Well, isn't that so nice of you? I was gonna use yours. You owe me that boat. Do you have any idea what happened to the village in the south? Or maybe you could tell me. Not really. I was still this tall. She raises her open hand, palm down to her chest. I just heard 'tis difficult, and I should not ask about it. She bites her lower lip. I've not been thinking about it for years, but maybe I should, knowing it was Dias who told me this. Well, if you figure it out, please let me know. Alright, well, I was gonna invite her to hunt with the pelt folks, but I guess we can just ask Soshi. We can make it the pelt. In keep, I have more fish to sell. Now we can go to sleep. Leftovers. Approach the guards. Axe throwing. Go to the well. Wash my shell. Travel. It's gonna take her like an hour, isn't it? I hate when she makes me wait. Okay, it's another spirit rock. You know what? I'm just gonna buy another one just in case. Alright, about to pelt. Yeah, leftovers. Push the guards. Axe throwing. I love how good I've gotten at this. Okay, steep house. Let's see if we have any fish. Probably not. Wash myself. Go to Beholder. Right. Offer a magical item. Spirit Rock. Try something else. Offer magic item. Spirit Rock. As soon as you lay it on the stone slab, the pebble hisses for less than a single breath and shatters to dozens of tiny rocks. Yeah, that's happened before. The tree greets your offering with the sound of moving, stretching branches. I approached the weird fruit that has suddenly appeared. It appeared in just a couple of moments, transforming from a button-sized spear into a large fruit. While its shape and size resemble an apple, it's also pale, entwining the whites and grays of bone. It's divided into a number of slices like an expensive toy made of marble. The tree is now larger, taller, but becomes silent once motionless, stated in its hunger. Your farewell gift is waiting for you. Okay, I spent an hour or so making the tools that will allow me... Oh, I guess because it's kind of far away. Look for 2 long branches in the required shapes. At first, you make a curved hook, then a net-like piece of cloth spread between 2 sub-branches. The plan is simple: pull the fruit with the former, then catch it with the latter. Practice it on an imaginary branch a couple times till you feel ready. All it takes is a single pull. It's hard like bone, smooth like polished granite, and just as cold. We're supposed to eat this? Look at the tree, but nothing else grabs your attention. Okay. That's that taken care of. Two blue-haired monkeys are jumping on the rocky mountainside, chasing each other and screaming cheerfully. For a moment, you see not only the old druid, but also his female companion. Touched by ears, she's leaning forward. As you arrive, she hides inside the cave. The man welcomes you with annoyed, "What? What do you need, traveler?" "I'm sorry to interrupt your date. I have the fruit you told me about." He straightens up and takes the fruit gently, then carries it to the cave. When he returns, he bows his head to you. "I'm astonished, traveler. I am. It must have taken a lot, but we're almost done with it. Turn to me once you've ready to take me to Old Pagos and back, but no later than the early afternoon." Is it early afternoon? "I may help us push away the wild animals, but I'll be too weak to protect us from the creatures of the night. We need maybe even 6 hours." Okay, well, no time to waste. Without a word, he walks through the metal door and leaves you alone for a few minutes. Once he returns, he holds a red staff in a linen bag, which he gives to you. "I'm old, you'll carry it." "That's fair," he states matter-of-factly. He's changed to similar pants and a tunic, but their greens, blues, and reds are lively. You don't see any stitches or patches. Still, he looks like an old commandant, not a priest. As you lead Magenta down the path, there isn't much of an opportunity to speak with the old druid. He looks around, observes the plants in the sky, but hardly ever glances toward you, and never for long enough to have a chance to read your lips. Now follow him north. The locals drop their tools and head to the road, observing your approach anxiously and bowing to the elder. The commotion spreads to the other side of the wall as the villagers call their friends and families to gather around. Behind the open gates, you're welcomed by a tumult of onlookers. Wow, they're sure excited to see you. The druid raises his hand and waves to no one in particular. He moves forward silently, not interested in what he sees. Once you get to the fruit-bearing trees, you turn right. Crossing the bridge is not so easy for an old man, but he doesn't ask anyone to hold him, instead putting his weight on the staff and taking slow steps forward. The welcoming committee awaits you on the islet. The druids are gathered on one side, while a group of elders are on the other. Taya stands in your way right before the second bridge. When you reach her, there's a long silence. "Oh, please, don't ruin this. We're so close to saving Old Pagos." "Yeah, let us be. What we do here is unrelated to you." The mayor's eyes are filled with anger, yet her tone remains calm. "We do not wish to bother any of you. Quite the opposite, Roadwarden. 'Tis a great day for our village. The forest speaker has visited us again after so many years. I hope the news you're bringing Ah, delightful. She raises her head and chillingly titters. There's no trace of her city accent. The elder's tone is both firm and polite. I have no more words for any of you. If there had been another path I could take, I would. He looks around slowly, observing nearby faces. I'm glad to see you in good health. This place does not need me, and thanks to Leto, I can reach the people in great misfortune. Puts his free hand on your shoulder. Elpis steps forward with fingers clenched around her staff. Beholder has awoken. Our people have the right to its seed. You're robbing us of a fruit for which we've been waiting since spring. Her cadence is indistinguishable from your companions, and you notice their staffs have an identical length. I'm not going to have a contest, are they? I'll let them figure this out. Kind of like the old one. The elder responds without looking in her direction. To think you would dare claim our holy totem as your belonging. Your soul is marked with corruption, as he points at her with his staff. His hand is shaking. Towards the Roadwarden who awoke the swamp spirit through true sacrifices. Something that your soft beds and colorful clothing have made you forget about. The man sounds like a disappointed teacher, and you realize he has heard the druidess's voice without looking at her lips. Huh. You who believe you deserve the seed do not understand who you are, how lost you are. He moves his staff around, pointing at various faces. He wants to move forward, but the mare puts hands on her sides. In her eyes you see an unfamiliar glimpse of fear. You already eaten the seed once, O speaker. Do not make us use force. There's no need for violence. Don't push this into it. The elder scoffs. I would sooner turn myself into a pike and swim down the stream to drop the seed into the swamps than let you rob the one who has followed our traditions. Roadwarden did so in the name of what's right, and I believe it with my whole soul. His voice raises. 1 year. After everything I've done for you, I'm taking away but 1 year of prayers. And you still fight. What a pathetic day. Doesn't wait any longer. He steps forward and the mare gets out of your way, observing the two of you with shame and fury. You cross the bridge, then open the gate. The man returns to silence. His back is bowed, shoulders drooping. Well, we're almost there. Did not expect that kind of welcome. The man stops near the clearing and leans on his staff, contemplating the clearing silently. When I was but a brat, that bow was trimmed without a greater purpose. Not only for humans, both for the trees and land. Pinching the spirits was a misdeed. He turns to you, observing your lips. I've heard tales of great sages from before the days of the emperors who restored such lands with a single spell. Brought them back to life, helped us find forgiveness, the right path. And we're not those sages now. Those are just stories. He glances at the dead trees. Made up by those who dream of salvation, but do not know what they need to be saved from. Who thinks there's a balm that will cure a soul, the fate itself? He resumes his walk. Alright. The hills are bright and colorful. The tall grasses and flowers dance with the wind, unaware of the countless grasshoppers, butterflies, and mice that romp and prey among them. Dark green birds are circling above the walls and cliffs, arguing in tongues unknown to humans. With every breath you take in the summer in its dusk, the drying ground and the promise of rainfalls, as well as the pinching smoke coming from the funeral pyre set in the center of the village, cutting the horizon like a column weaved from shadows. As time goes on, the old man's walking pace slows down, observing the lands around you with great interest. His keen eyes stop on the trees, bushes, and flowers, though it's the crops on the plateau that make him stop for a bit. After a minute or two, he speaks. The plants want to fall. They need no more than 2 rains. The farmers need to come out right after dawn. He doesn't look at your lips, but just turns around and approaches the second ascent, once again slowing down to climb it without your help. Well, I guess I tether Magenta to the fence so I can graze on the meadow. Man waits at the gate and reaches out to you. You give him the bag that he gave you at his shelter. You do not have to stay away, but it will not be pleasant, he sighs. I'll come out soon and we'll leave this place right away. The village may be cured, but that does not mean that the plague is cleansed, or you can still be infected. He raises his red staff and uses it to knock on the gate. You don't wait long for the dark-eyed woman to open the peephole. This time, there are not that many people around her. Let me in, says the druid. The peephole closes right away. After a few loud minutes of moving the wooden bars, the gate opens slightly. I guess they know of him. You have a couple of moments to look around. The few buildings you notice are unlike anything you've seen in this province, made of material that resembles the rock faces seen on this very hill, with tilted, tiled roofs and stone walls. The gate closes gently. Walk away to have a better look. Better look of what? Return to your mount and put on a hand on its side. It blows air from its nose, noticing your attention, but is way too focused on chewing to raise its head. The only sound comes from grass, insects, birds. Suddenly, you notice a beam of green light coming from the village, as well as a strong gust of wind that ends in complete silence. The druid staggers out through the gate, exhausted. Oh, if he's exhausted, I should probably help him. When he sees your steps, he gestures for you to stop, with a weak smile hidden in the corner of his eyes. He kneels and leans forward, breathing heavily. He opens his bag, pulling out the weird fruit that you gave him. With shaking hands, he detaches the first slice of its skin. But before you take a good look at it, it turns into a gray powder and slips through the man's fingers. The rest of the fruit follows its example, covering the soil with an ash-like dust. Is that supposed to happen? The thing that remained resembles yet another fruit or a cherry-sized seed, levitating in the middle of a floral rib cage. The man observes it for a few breaths, then reaches out for it with 2 fingers, squishing it softly, and puts it into his mouth. During the next minute, he gets up, grins at you, dusts off his knees, and takes a few steps forward, which turn into dance-like skipping. He then descends from the hills without a word. Well, okay, I guess it was supposed to do that. You hear the joyful calls of the villagers, their hysterical laughter, and names screamed at the sky, welcoming those that have awoken after a long dream. Oh, you crazy old man, you did it. For the first hour, the elder swings his staff around like a conjurer in the marketplace and hums to himself like a drunkard. His walking pace remains stable. Well, I don't know how long this mania is gonna last, but enjoy it while you can, old man. As time goes on, this frenzied state fades out. At first, he returns to using his staff and gives you his bag. He looks down, hobbling, and finally asks for your help. Alright, okay. I guess it didn't last long. Get him in the saddle. You help the man dismount, realizing how light he actually is. Holding your shoulder, he points at the bench near the spring. You help him sit down and place his staff and bag nearby. He's smiling, covered by sunbeams, stretching out his legs, leaning back to rest on the warm rocks. We've done a good job, he says quietly but clearly. Now all we can do is hope they'll stop cutting down the trees before the wild creatures push them into the sea. After a moment, he opens his eyes and looks at your lips. Not sure why you decided to aid them. They're not your allies. I don't care. I'm happy that you could help. Thank you for your assistance. And thank you. 'Tis one of those strange things that makes us differ from so many creatures. We may not belong to a single pack, yet we've joined our strength, pursued the same goals. He looks at a small garden. Save the lives of others, just because we could. Our souls do make me wonder. He sighs. I want to get some sleep. If you need anything before you leave, now is the time. Right. Can you tell me about the druids? He strokes his beard gently. The force guides us, and we share its wisdom with the tribes. We and they ought to stay humble, take from the land what is needed instead of what is wanted. Nay, because there's something we believe in, but because it protects us from the wrath of the hoods. To stay safe, one needs to know how to be patient, take restraint into their hearts, and to make the beasts listen to us. We keep the animals healthy, teaching them to not approach our homes and travelers. That monsters will never be able to live side by side with humans. Well, sounds reasonable. Well, I mean, it's not like they're living side by side. Sounds reasonable. You need anything else? No, I don't need to stay. I can go. I want to bug you and your wife. I need to learn more about the tribe of Green Mountain, if you're willing to share now. He considers your question and finally looks at the sky, making his long hair fall on his back. Listen closely, I'm not going to say anything else. He takes a deep breath and turns towards a pond, observing the current. The road in the far east, one that's now abandoned, is not showing the truth. Look for a brook bridge made of stone. On its northern side, turn east again, go along the stream. It'll be rough at first, but soon enough you'll get to the game trail, then a mountain. Climb it to reach the village of the tribe of the Green Mountain, who follow traditions older than any of ours. This grim tribe avoids the outside world, where its followers have hunted them deeply. If you want them to share or steal with you, this is what you should tell. I'm a freedom seeker, a friend of the speakers of the forest. Say these words like an unwanted guest looking for a roof. They do not want you there, but prove to them that you're willing to listen and just speak. Turns toward you. There's nothing else to say. See, I'm not confused. I thought the tribe of the Green Mountain lived on High Island. I need to learn more about High Island. He looks you in the eyes, then nods slowly and enters the path leading down the hill, and you're just free to follow him on his stroll. During his speech, he never glances at your lips, and doesn't ask if you have any questions. Centuries ago, a great tribe used to live on High Island. Hunting, farming, mining, fishing. He observes the pond as it gets continuously more muddy. Prospering, the volcano, the Green Mountains, naked since its last eruption a few years back. But wait another generation and the wilderness will cover it again. I'm confused. So do I go east or do I don't... Why is this so confusing? There's a sudden movement coming from the grasses on your right, but as you look in that direction, you notice that a deer is just observing you, though at an unusually close distance. 'Tis nae my place to paint their suffering, but what is not a secret is how they've been treated by Havlavin. Join us or the sea will be taken away from you, they've heard. Corsairs have surrounded an island and attacked anyone on sight, waiting for the tribe to surrender. Can't cover the growing disdain in his voice. After a decade, the 10 cities breached the shore. Tired of waiting, cloaked by night, they crossed the walls that were raised to stop beasts, not human-shaped monsters. With farms burnt, supplies taken, and harbors destroyed, the tribe saw no future for itself. Yet, instead of bending to the will of the Emperor, they left on the last hidden ship, at least those who survived. Takes a deeper breath. The city folk resettled the island, but had no knowledge of it, or its weird seasons, beasts, and eruptions crushed them, as they had crushed the previous dwellers. There was not a single soul that would gain from all this suffering. Okay. So they moved. They're no longer at High Island. The man observes the bloody remains of a rabbit lying at the side of the road, and after a minute nods for you to follow him back to his garden. To land there, you have to reach the island soon after dusk, when the sea rises. Only then you can reach the cave hidden behind one of the waterfalls. I do not know which waterfall it is, he observes you, making sure you're listening. And you'll do better by speaking with the tribe of the Green Mountain before you attempt it. 'Tis their land, and you are not to trespass. Fair enough. Of course. Observing your lips, do you need anything else? Right, last thing. Bronze rod. He takes and observes the rod for a moment, then closes his eyes and bites it gently. You biting it? When he returns it, he seems unconvinced. I sense a spirit in it, but I'm not one who can tell who's behind it. How can I be sure? You explain what you know about the nature of the rods, but he changes the topic of you to see her herself. Then a minute passes before he accepts that you indeed know her. Fine. I'll ask for a story next time I see you. Go, but away from the spring. Don't break your neck. Even a child could get to the higher parts of such a rugged cliff, though you have no reason to expect all the loose rocks to be cleared. Take off my armor and put away my weapons and bags. The bronze rod is attached to your back by a cord. As you place your feet and hands on the rocks, you realize that you have to move slowly, maintaining your balance, pushing away small and large pebbles, making sure that the wall doesn't collapse under your feet. The rocks are coarse, supporting your grasp. You rarely find a sharp spot. The climb resembles a nice summer walk, though your muscles are not prepared for such movements. You find the perfect spot, a small crack between two massive rocks. You use the rod to broaden it just a bit, then push it halfway in and fill the gaps with a rag. Doing it with one hand makes you dizzy, but not for long. Take a short break to catch a second breath. Climbing down is easier, though you struggle to recall exactly where you had previously placed your limbs. The sun eases your tension. After a few minutes, you land on the soft grass and dust off your hands. Once again, prepare your equipment. The druid gives the shining rod a pouty look. Alright. Well, pleasure working with you. I'll be back with your fish. Eventually. I can't get the pelt, but I can get the howlers. I don't know if they're going to be happy to see me after that. Once you're done with unpacking, 3 armed men show up behind you, their garments entirely faceted, eyes grim. She wants to see you, says the man with the braided beard. He's holding a stone mace, and you'll come now. You mean Dias? Or Elpis? He ignores your question. Leave your weapon here. He nods toward Magenta. Move. Seems like I don't have a choice. Bound to happen eventually. Surrounded by curious glances and wordy whispers, Dias is in her usual spot, holding a mug with both her hands. She doesn't have to say a thing. The dining neighbors get on their feet and leave the square, without bothering with their plates. Erix enters the building. Kakios heads towards the tiny islet. Everything, excluding the guards who watch her every step, you two are alone. She waves her hand and you get pushed onto a stool, almost hitting the ground. Forgive us for all these precautions, she says with a thick local accent, serving you with piercing green eyes. But I'm not sure who you are. Not an ally, not a threat. Her pale fingers are tapping on the wood, yet her face is like a statue. A Roadwarden. The people of Old Pecos called for help and I answered. May they keep their scrap of land safer. For the sake of all of us. I was just pursuing my goals, doesn't matter. Need to affect our common efforts. I wouldn't forgive myself for sacrificing this many lives. You could spare one magic fruit for them, Dias. Yeah, I'm tired of your shit. She covers her mug with her palm. Do not dare to tell me what I can and cannot spare. No, I will tell you what you can and cannot spare. That was a whole village worth of people. People who are dying. Your neighbors. I am going to tell you what you can and cannot spare. You do owe shit to the other tribes. They're human beings just like you. When she realizes that her fingernails are scratching the wood, she hides her hands under the table. So this is it. You took away our treasure because of a soft heart. The others, she runs her eyes over the people who are staying at the edge of the square, do not know what it means to fight for their own good. There are sacrifices harsher than blood and magic trinkets. She stares at you harshly. And you're sacrificing my trust. What trust? I never had your trust. I'm not petty, Leto, she returns to the accent of the city folk. You can still enjoy your stay at our lovely village, she says with a sigh, then puts on her usual smile with a hint of a smirk. We can still use your services. You may be a stranger, but at least you carry dragon bones. The guards push you away, and the other people read it as a sign. They get back to their tasks and meals, avoiding your eyes, and air gets lighter. Not petty my ass. Your sleep gets distorted by the foul smell coming from your bundles. Raw fish meat is now rotting. State will get worse with every day, but even now you struggle to imagine where you can continue your journey with the smell around. Ah, damn it. Or it's somewhere where I won't bother anyone and get back to sleep. Okay. Offer my services to the guards. What could be done? Let's see what the tailor can do for me. Canvas and repairs? Fantastic. Let's go see Elpis. See if she has anything to say. You enter the building site, which has changed quite a bit since the last visit. Elpis is standing in the middle of the yard, surrounded by her companions, as she needs a few breaths to collect her thoughts. We are glad to see you, Roadwarden. Her eyes make you think of a sky just after a heavy rain. The forest speaker had put us into shame, and we've discussed his words and deeds. Her voice is slow, but you catch its hesitation. We're grateful that the village of Old Pagos will share the next summer with us. The lack of the seed will be a burden, but it will bring us to brighter days. Seeing what I did for Old Pagos, do you think I'm worthy of your healing abilities? No, I'm not. I don't. It's fine. With your help, where I can find a stereo, my journey will be difficult. That is true. Once you tell her about the island, she puts her left-handed finger on her lips, thinking, "You assisted us in keeping our village safe from greed. You've protected us from the plague, even though you had to sacrifice the sacred fruit." Okay, it seems like you're still a little annoyed by that. We do not care for this man, but we see you as our ally and wish you well. Come and see me before you leave. My soul will heal your wounds and strengthen your shell. Oh, thank you. I'll come to you later on when I'll truly need your powers. Farewell. You see how makes me hate Dice more. A real villain. I can see why you hate your mother. Completely understandable. Did I have anything for Quintus? Well, I should go check the trap. Wash myself. Pull the rope and see 3 flopping. That's great. Set it up again. Go to pelt. Approach the guards. Do some axe throwing. Enter the inn. Innkeeper. Leftovers. That's great. Alright. Sell some fish. And I have 11. Alright, let's go see Quintus. How many coins did he want again? Oh, I should tell him that Old Pagos is safe. Duh. I bring good news from Old Pagos. The plague is no more. What? Leans back. Say again? When you repeat, he tilts his head back and puts hands on his waist, bursting in laughter, though his voice still shaking. Tell me all! He has little patience, constantly throwing more questions at you about the druid, his plan, your gifts for the magic tree. He's far from happy when he hears about the prolonged seclusion. I guess it's fair. Stay here for some more time. I don't want to miss. stuff up like, I'm not as dumb as a bud. Sure. He smiles again. Thank you, Warden. Your soul carries duty like no other. I'm just doing what anyone else would do. Except Ice. Everyone except her. Yeah, I'm not gonna plan to enter the words, but would you be willing to talk about Glacia now? Warden, I can't talk about her. His shoulders slump, making him look like a wounded troll. I've gotta look after the gate for her, or she'll hurt someone important to me. If she learns I'm telling stories about her, I'm dead too. Oh. Guess she is dangerous. Wishing it was before I told Dias about your duty. You need to pay him at least 13 and make him head to the inn. Okay. You would think they'd switch you out, but understandable, they're still in quarantine. Only have an hour left. I should get to Hallersdale. Push the opening gate, then swiftly dismount. A guard approaches you, ready to take your mount to stable. Good to see you. Our journeys. Gossip for a bit. Curious locals gather around to take part in your conversation. Recently, the fresh cheese spoiled very quickly. Maybe there's a new evil spirit around. Into the village. Well, they're not mad at me. Sounds like it's just eyes. Alright, go to the main square. Go to Eric's. Fish. Take one. Thanks. I guess we'll go to sleep. Trigger's not around, but I can offer my services. I go to the main square, go to Akakios. What do you have for sale? Oh, I have just enough. With a head made of steel. Alright, fine. I'll take it. Bring goods to sell. Can I sell my other? No, I can't. Okay. Well. Oh, okay. Let's see how much this goes for. 3 rings? Okay. I just wanted to know. Go to Steep House, check for fish. No. Go to Pelt, see what we can sell there. I don't think they'll buy the... Where's the guards? Oh, I don't have any coin. Well, okay. We'll go to the inn. Go to the innkeeper. Anything you'd like to buy? No. Glacia's band. I can't tell you about. She has dirt on Quintus. Alright. But I had 14. I could have used that for Quintus. Oh well, I can go to Odysseia. Should be ready. Oh, at least it was faster than I expected. To be afraid of the bandits, Odysseia? You should know the plague of old Pagos is no more. You tell her about your deeds, but she stares at a distance without so much as a gesture. Doesn't ask you a single question. Takes her a minute to form new free words. So there was no hope for them. But now it's there for others. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, right. Bronze rods, all dealt with. Nessa wipes her hands on her robe, puts her hands into her pocket, and waits for you to describe the locations where you've placed the rods. She asks you for a few details, then thinks aloud. Let's see, 8 rods in total, so that would be... Here you go. Guess we're done here. It looks so. Thanks, Leto. Fantastic. As a bonus reward for placing all the rods, you can buy my spirit rocks cheaper. I wish you would... Oh, fuck you. I don't need your spirit rocks anymore. Such a journey would take me a few weeks. Well, it wouldn't, or I wouldn't try it. She chuckles, but as she twirls her hair, her eyes grow absent again. Right, I helped you, Odysseus. You can see I'm not a scoundrel. What happened to the village in the south? I'm no longer part of the northern tribes. I shouldn't speak in their name. Okay, but the northern tribes won't speak in their name either. She looks at the closest golem, then at the tools, and finally at her clean fingernails. When you're at old Pagos, who speaks with you? If you mention Tertia, she drowls on her words. If you have an hourglass, you may want to wear it. It'll be easier to convince her. After a long pause, you start to look around, and only then does she find the right words. And is she healthy? I haven't talked with her in many years. We made that her conversations didn't give you the full picture, so all you can do is describe the confidence of her voice, and the tribe seems to trust her. I'm happy for her, she says with an absent voice. Your exchange looks. It may have little meaning now, but tell her as follows. The warden ought to know about Steep House, Little Otter. She looks away blushing. She'll know it's from me. Not gonna ask about the history behind that. But I will ask you about the bandits. She glanced at the gate. I'm not afraid. Glacio is fucking terrifying. Here's a little tip, and engrave it on his soul. She can't be reasoned with. If you're strong, threaten her. If weak, ask her for mercy, I guess. She wanted to work with me, but I need no right to know her soul is wicked. She takes a step toward you. I think there's somewhere in the deep woods. I don't know much about these lands. I've got other stuff to worry about. There's only one place that I know that could keep an entire band, an old lumberjack camp. But you won't reach it through any of the main roads, so that's that. A lumberjack camp. Right. Need help with anything else? Lips form a shadow of a smirk. I do, but it won't be as much of an ordeal, just a simple errand. She moves closer and pulls out a dry flower petal from her pocket. See, it's like an orange tulip, but has much larger leaves. It's called snake bait. Bring me 1 or 2, freshly picked. I'll pay you 5 dragons, fair enough. 5? What do you need it for? I simply want it. Her voice gets colder. These flowers are hard to find. I'd pay 5 dragons for them any day. You start to ask another question, but she warns you with a scowl. That's all you need to know. Well, I need to know where I can find it. That's the hard part. You can try in the western villages or in the deep woods. They need light, so not in caves, but stay in shadow, so below trees. Edges of meadows, what would be my guess, or maybe you'll find one just by the main road. Keep your eyes open. Alright, deal. What the words on your golems? She thinks for a bit, then meets her eyes. I hold my spells. Each one means aught different. Look, chase, beast, run. The golems are meant to hunt, and I hope that if aught happens to them, I'll have an option to put these enhanced rocks into other shells. She twirls her hair. Nice little trick, though. I'm not sure it works. I plan to use a few more words like dig or lumber. I'm not sure it works, huh? Since you have writings on golems, could you read some things for me? Her eyes widen, then she smiles. You got it wrong. I ask others to write down the words I need, together with pictures, and I then copy them. You could go to, she lets out a sigh, a monastery in the far mountains. Okay, well, since we're on good terms now, any chance you have any information on Asterion? She looks in the distance, holding one arm across her stomach and twirling her hair in the other. I should smoke aught, or at least gather wood. The summer's almost over. Do you need help with that? She glances at you, but it takes her a few breaths to answer. We've no time for a doing now. Wardens never do. Neither do enchanters. She lets out a long exhale. You're someone who puts actions first. Sterion was the same. If all happened to him, don't let yourself fall too. The description of his appearance matches what you heard from Tulia. Don't be deceived by his height, she adds. He brought me herbs guarded by bear folk. Not many could match his spear and bow. In return for his various favors, I shoved Numa into his cloak, making it as warm and soft as the pelt of a white wolf. Best sleep of my life. He raises her daydreaming eyes. Her voice grows confident. If Asterion is still here, I'm sure he still has the cloak. It's green and has a light hood and embroidered leaves. Okay, when was the last time you saw him? Soon before he vanished. He was anxious, tired, unkind, but from a heavy heart. He didn't explain. I didn't ask. He rested at her place for a few hours, healed himself with magic, and prepared his equipment. She shows a surprising memory for details, but not especially useful ones. He told me he was going to start a great journey and that he'd bring back stories. But he was afraid, I know he was. Did he ask for anything weird before he left? Maybe he wanted something? She scratches the sand with her foot. Yes, actually. He wanted to borrow a golem of mine. She seemed to finish her tale, but after seeing your look, she clears her throat. Oh, that's not an option. I have no way to stay in touch with the sentinels that are far away from here. I figured. Well, do you have any message for him in case I find him? Message? Just tell him he still owes me for the cloak. He knows we're not even. It's a damn treasure. She puts on a smile, but her eyes betray her melancholy. Alright, will do. Okay. Wait, how much are you selling the rock for? 6. I might buy one, just in case. One of my companions as a penchant for Numa. Alright, we gotta figure out what to do with the mine. There's no way I'm giving it to Dice. Foggy Lake. Into the tavern. I have some things I'm willing to part with. Let's find out. 20 dragon bones. Better prices are to my regulars. I am a regular! Fine, take it. You bought this here from Howlers? She runs her fingers over the unpacked stack of fabric, then grins. I want it, she announces. I won't get anything like this in Creeks, and I could use a proper dress. I'll give you 14 dragons for it. Take them, or I'm going to buy another sack for my cocktails. Alright, deal. I made a profit. 36. That should be enough to shut Quintus up. So, next job. Still interested? I have a message to Ison, the innkeeper of Pelt in the north. His place is in the far south, a huge bother for us to get there. A bother worth, let's say, 3 dragons. She sits down on a stool and looks you in the eyes. The scars and wrinkles on her thoughtful face could belong to a statue. Tell him, are we still trading? I'm running out of patience. Remember it well, eh? Bring me the answer, only then you'll get paid. It might be better for you to tell me what this is about. She frowns. I don't ask you to negotiate in my name, though I guess it won't hurt to tell you. Ison and I were thinking about working together. He'd invest in my place, and we'll get his share of profits in the future, and a shelter for his hunters. He was meant to send me the first pouch of dragons, but has fallen silent. I want to know where we stand. Alright, I'll do it, Foggy, just for you. Any chance you're willing to tell me more about your tavern? What burdens your soul? So you can move things with your thoughts. She chuckles. Why can't you? I don't know what's up, tricks. Well, not that one. Now that's a mystery. She chuckles. Let's hope you won't need to use it on your journeys. Or that winter will never come. Or that wolves will cuddle with mouflins. They'll cuddle with mouflins. I must say, love, I rarely meet folks with that many questions. He gives you a warm look. What hides beneath them? Nothing. Just getting to know you better. Only friends, don't we? No, I was just getting to know you better. Her scarred lips makes an unclear grimace. Words can only get you so far. You won't know someone by meeting them once every few seasons. You must stay together, see each other's deeds, listen to their coughs and cries. Travelers don't know folks, just stories. Voice gets somber. Trust my ears when I say so. Hey, however you want to see it. It isn't a burden to me. I will not spend any money. Because I do need a lot of it. Now I will go. Approach the foragers. They start chatting about the weather. Planning the next couple of hours. Let's see. Let's discuss the price. I don't know how well you handle yourself in the wilderness. Too bad we couldn't hunt together. 32 dragons. Maybe a bit less in the future. If I see you're useful for our tribes folk. I figured I am useful. You know what? I'll come back. 32. I just raised this. Oh, I need to go handle that fish. That's probably... I should wash myself. Fish trap. Wait, I can't set up the fish trap again? Wait, why not? What happened? The trap is not only empty, but also damaged beyond repair. Some sort of predator might have been a saurian. Damn it! What about this one? Okay, well, it was broken. That's good. Shallow Creek? No, I can't do anything with that. Soshi. Dalit from the Pelton North is looking for hunters. Are you up to the task? She rests her axe on her shoulder and makes a wide grin. Now that I've nothing better waiting for me here, friend. If she's looking for a folk who can take a swing, take a hit, and take a few steps into the woods without getting mauled to death, she'll find no better soul in the boring-ass land. Great. I'll mention this to her once I see her. Alright. That worked out. Anything for Ayla? Oh, I should probably tell him. I've helped to clear the plague from Old Pagos. It may not be a safe place, but it will survive. Ayla's grin is soon followed by his raised voice. And you're serious? Everyone? He addresses other people working near the square. Tell the others, the plague is gone. We're safe. After his eyes return to you, he clears his throat and turns away again. Old Pagos is safe. You explain briefly what happened, and he spends a few good moments considering the old druid's part. I wouldn't expect someone from Howlers to help another soul in need, he says while his hands clench the bottom of his cloak. Not since they're ruled by a tyrant, but it's not the first time this forest speaker has protected the peninsula from a grave threat. He smiles at you. And so did you, I guess. What was a grave threat? Was it related to Steep House? Wait, so you know who Tyus is, right? She may need your help. It's about... Oh, no. No. I'd sooner... I'm guessing I'd sooner side with the Necromancer at this point. I hate Tyus so much. I've made some additional progress with the Eastern Path. No, even more issues? I'm listening. Oh, there's some bushes leading east of the old stone bridge. His eyes widen, looks left and right, then whispers, "Why would you do such a thing? Some women out think there's a path there." I need that path. He observes you in silence, then gives up. Well, I'll trust the Roadwarden's judgment. Wait here for a bit, if you may. Puts away his tools and heads to a distant building. Once he returns, he's holding a wooden plank. Take this, and leave it somewhere on the trail at the bridge, will you? Maybe tied to a tree. He hands you an old sign covered in dark reddish paint. Blood there, you think. Then ask him if it's not too dark. It's the only paint we can squeeze out from the plants of our meadows. He admits and gets back to his work. Fair enough. Alright, I'll put that there. Let you know if there's anything else. Ephraim. Okay, Old Hava. Supplies? Could use another fish trap. I'll take a roast chicken. Mask made of vines and willow branches. Farewell. Travel. Look at the statue. Okay. That's set up. Who am I telling about the copper ore there? Well, that's good. I still got time. Huh. Did mean to go to Whitewashes, also monastery, to read Dias' letter. Because I will do everything I can to sabotage her life. I hate her more than I hate undead. She's just such a bitch.